connection just cut for no reason for a second there. So you pretty much have to enter a question. For example,
is that something I should know about?
Okay. What up?
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta speak white. How are you?
Originally, I was suffering with depression. Work was piling up. I kept missing deadlines. I wasn't used to all the failure. I got depressed. I'm Bryce Hemmings. You must be the new doctor.
Yes.
Did you know Dr. Dekker?
If I knew him... I did not know Dr. Dekker.
I can't help you there.
Okay, fine. How about just no?
I don't know.
Okay, how does this work again? Oh, I see.
He was an antagonistic psycho.
Okay.
I hope you're not from the same school of thought.
Should follow this up. Definitely follow this up. Okay. Okay, that's history. And that's a hint. Okay.
I didn't really like Dr. Dekker, and for quite a few reasons, actually. I'd rather talk about my own problems for now, though, if you don't mind.
Alright, why didn't
Dr.
you
Dekker
like
would say one thing and do another. He would push me to do things I didn't want to do. He was getting worse towards the end. I'm surprised he didn't kill himself.
Right. This guy seems stable, am I right? What is
I'm a grave digger, Doctor. And people are dying quicker than we can bury them.
Alright. Tell me, sir, why were you depressed?
You'd think being a grave digger had its perks, but it can be very stressful. There's a trend going towards burial rather than cremation again. And as well as running out of space, we're running out of competent grave diggers. At least ones that can use a shovel, that is. I'm not feeling anywhere near as depressed as I used to, though. Not since I got the extra hour.
Alright. What extra hour?
At midnight each day. Time as you know it freezes. In my world, it just slows down to almost a stop. But I don't. I'm free to wander around and do as I please. An hour later, normal reality continues. It's my very own midnight hour.
Alright. This guy seems normal, right? need a therapist.
Henley Church, where I work, is located on an old Norman motte and bailey. You can't use mechanical diggers or excavators there in case you destroy a relic.
Just let me boy 10 is no damn live again, cause here we go. Okay.
It's a bizarre thing to know you have an extra hour every day. I rarely ever sleep until after midnight now, so I can appreciate the extra time. I get a lot of work done in that time. I'm completely caught up. The
So this
depression is no
motherfucker
longer an
thinks
issue. 25 hours
time.
is a blessing for me.
He gets 1 hour every
But
day.
apparently, it's not real, and I'm insane for thinking it is. What do you think, Doctor?
I think you're healthy. You can go right out that door. No problem, my good sir.
I thought it would be too early to make a diagnosis, but it's good you're having a go anyway. In the extra hour, I mainly catch up with work. It's a godsend. Sometimes I play chess against myself. It relaxes and strengthens the mind all at once.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy.
I stumbled across a relic myself. An ancient chess piece. A queen, I believe. The best chess piece. The most freedom of movement. But they took it away immediately and proclaimed the whole east side of Henley Church a protected site of archaeological importance, which means we're not allowed to use it until the archaeologists have finished. I wish I hadn't told anyone.
All right, Bryce, tell me about Henley Church.
Henley Church is relatively small. Well,
As you can see,
for the number of bodies they expect us to pack into the ground, it's relatively small. The whole building was once owned by Scientologists, but they handed it back to the community as a tax break, I believe. Or they'd finished doing whatever it was they wanted to do with it. I'm not sure I believe in any religion anymore. I used to believe in God, not anymore. There are too many religions to pick from, don't you think?
I'm gonna try to play ball with him.
Then we agree. Have you watched Zeitgeist, Doctor? Some of it is believable, and the part about most religions stemming from the same basic facts. It's more likely they've all got it wrong than one of them has got it right.
Okay.
I like chess. I still play sometimes when I can find an opponent. There's nothing more satisfying than planning scores of moves in advance and then watching things unfold as you saw them.
I know what his problem is.
I shouldn't have told anyone about the Queen.
I think he wants to fuck a chess piece.
Yes, Dr. Dekker was
Get it out of your
murdered.
system,
Quelle
buddy.
surprise. Murder does seem a bit
drill a hole.
harsh, doesn't it? And another grave to dig. I know as much about it as you do. Less, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I do like to be in control, but then I suppose most people do. Nobody wants life to carry them along helplessly. Everyone wants to kick against it and make their own way. Do you like to be in control, Doctor?
Yeah, I do like
If you like being in control, you'll have a tough time here. I saw it with Dr. Dekker. Such control, such stability. But he unraveled at the end. He couldn't keep control of everything, of everyone. He just set us up like dominoes, but we all toppled in unexpected ways. You'll find it all out in time, Doctor. Just not today. Can't have your head exploding, can we?
Perfectly normal individual. Alright. Who do we go about next with? Nathan? Show yourself, Nathan. Mariana? I have a feeling they put her in here just for the foot fetish demographic. Because this woman is constantly like lifting up her feet and doing stuff with her feet when she sits in that couch. Yo, Chris Harris! We just got started. Happy Halloween! Nathan? Alright.
Dr. Dekker was a complex man. I spent a lot of time with him, but he won't remember it that way.
Cool.
I saw the conflict that Dr. Dekker was going through. Let's just say you might look back on your life and think there's nothing you would have done differently. No 2 days were alike for him in the end. Like he couldn't decide what to do with himself. He was like a kid in a sweet shop. He had so many options, he didn't know what to do. I suppose if you take too long picking, all your options run away.
Okay. What the fuck are you talking about?
As far as Dr. Dekker was concerned, we had Monday, then moved on to Tuesday. But me, I had Monday 5, 10, 50 times before I got to Tuesday.
Oh, cool. Who you going as?
I watched that Bill Murray film, Groundhog Day, to see if there's any clues. That's how bad it's gotten. I'm looking for a cure in a Hollywood movie. Can you help me, Doctor? I don't know how, but thank you, Doctor. This is our first time around, and I trust you.
That works. I went lazy too. Cat, Slipknot cap, wife's glasses, tie, t-shirt, and hello, I'm Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Just wish I had a white t-shirt. I don't. They're all black and then there's this pink tan one. Oh, cool.
I'm Nathan Peel. I'm a supermarket worker from, well, hell, really.
He's from hell.
It's like those montages you get in movies. Time passes, you wake up, shave, if you feel like it, shower, get dressed. What's the point? You get this day over and over. Nothing changes. Am I in purgatory, Doctor?
Okay, so he thinks he's in hell.
Because I'm stuck between this day and the next. Most of the time, anyway.
Yeah. What are you gonna say? The bad credit card? Yup, there we go. Yep, the bad credit card. Let me see. Why does nothing
Sometimes
change?
it looks different. Sometimes the bird song will change, or the weather will be less bleak, or that person who nodded at you yesterday doesn't do it today. But it doesn't usually change. You need a tragic event for change, like a murder.
Ooh. He seems normal. No, does not compute. You know, I'm sad it didn't catch on. I always found the sparkle, sparkle, sparkle kind of funny. Or fucking bubbles.
I didn't see the driver. It was my fault. I pulled out and the lorry just rammed me. Well, Hannah. She was sat next to me. I was in shock, obviously. And when I came to, she was so close to me. It was like she was trying to hug me.
It's my boy.
But it wasn't right.
Hello, I'm Nostalgia
It's a
Critic.
metal pushing through her.
And I remember it so you
That
don't
was
have
5 years
to.
ago.
I haven't seen it yet.
Dr. Dekker's murder was sudden, brutal. It's terrible. The doctor. 2 weeks. 2 weeks I had of rolling days. No do-overs. No Monday, Monday, Monday. I wouldn't kill anyone, though. I'd have to keep doing it, wouldn't I? Few things seem to move me forward. I've been shrunk for that already. If I had that day again, I wouldn't make the same mistake. Hannah would still be alive. We'd probably have a family by now.
Dope.
I haven't had any relationships since then.
Aw, man. It fucking sucks when days like that come around. I feel you.
My fiancée, my childhood sweetheart. We met at secondary school. She was head girl, I was the quiet one. She liked computer games, so I instantly fell for her. I proposed in Goldshire. She said she didn't date elves, so I leveled up to a human necromancer and asked again. Sorry, it's Warcraft. We spent a lot of time on there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does Warcraft have a necromancer class at all? I think there's Death Knight. There's Warlock. There's Shaman. What's the slap button?
I was fine for quite a while after the accident.
So the master of this game is supposed to be very scary.
I thought I was cured.
Well, that's
it was only recently after meeting Dr. Dekker that I had a strange deja vu. I'm exhausted. Doctor, is our time up?
Yeah, Chris. I'd say you earned it.
We played World of Warcraft a lot together. I guess it's not the cool thing to do anymore. But we had a lot of memories there. To be honest, it reminds me a lot of life now. The same thing over and over again. Bring me X bunnies to make a stew. Y badger teeth. Rinse, repeat. Maybe I'm just grinding life.
Oh, dude, the acting in this is
Most of my days a blur. I'm not sure if it's the sleeping tablets I'm on or just how I've learned to switch off. I'm on temazepam. Dr. Dekker prescribed them for me. He thought I would sleep through to a whole new day. I didn't.
Okay.
I'm not really fit for work anymore. I work in produce at the local supermarket. That mainly involves lifting heavy crates of fruit and veg into place for people to buy.
Tannis.
And doing that over and over again.
The dude thinks he's
My muscles don't seem to have grown much. I think that maybe I'm not aging. When the day resets, I just reset with it. I used to be a builder. I'm 57. Kidding. Just if you spent the whole day at the gym and then repeat that day and not go, you'd have achieved nothing. No, I can't move backwards any more than a day. I don't really seem to control it. It's generally always on. I have to try and change something to move forward.
Okay, He's not the weirdo who thinks he has an extra hour every day. Okay, say hello to Mariana.
I'm Mariana. Are you feeling okay? That's what Dr. Dekker would say. I think you're supposed to tell me what's wrong with me. Isn't that how it works? The police keep picking me up for public nudity.
Right. Why have you been picked up for public nudity?
I black out.
This is a horror game!
And then the next thing
This
I
is a
remember,
horror
I'm
game.
naked on the beach. Like I've been
The infectious
washed
madness
up
of
on
Dr.
shore.
Dekker.
Nobody's pressed charges yet, but I can feel it. The police are getting suspicious. Well, that's why you're here, isn't it? You've replaced him. He was a good listener.
Here's the thing, Master. We replaced the psychologist who just got murdered, whose name is Dr. Dekker.
Dr. Dekker could really get inside you. It was, unsettling.
Right.
But you let him do it. Part of the process, I guess.
Right, okay.
I do suffer from blackouts, which is strange as I can hold my breath for a really long time. But I'm not swimming before I black out. Dr. Dekker thought it was anxiety originally.
Mm-hmm.
Then he worked it out.
Oh, really? What did he work out?
He eventually decided it wasn't anxiety, but I'm not going to tell you his final diagnosis. We should have a fresh start. I don't want you influenced by the prognosis.
Uh-huh. Around has blackouts. Does she remember anything during? Sustain any injuries? Alright. Do you suffer from
Dr.
anxiety?
Dekker thought I had generalized anxiety disorder. GAD?
GAD?
Because of the blackouts.
Right.
He thought I was breathing badly. Do you think I'm breathing badly? You can check my breathing if you want. Do you want me to lie down? Can you tell just by looking at me? I'm not worried about it, just if you are.
Okay.
I'm not sure holding my breath too long is causing blackouts. I mean, it could, but I don't remember ever having a blackout when I'm holding my breath.
What do you mean? Normal.
I work
So
for
far,
myself.
every patient has
I
been
make
normal.
bracelets
I'm
from
just
things
gonna
I
let
find on
them
the
loose
beach and
out
sell
into
them
the
online.
world. They don't need any further
I
help.
spend a lot of time at the beach. It's just way more relaxing than anywhere
Completely
else.
normal, good
You should
intentions
come with
human
me one
beings.
day. I can show you all the sights.
Really now?
I normally black out when I'm dancing. I like dancing. Do you like dancing?
When you're dancing, I see. What happens? Do you go into heat? No, I don't like
Dancing is good for you in so many ways. Just turn the music up, close your eyes, and let yourself go. You should try it sometime.
FBI, open up!
I dance a lot at nightclubs. I know most of the nightclubs around here. My favorite is the Pearl because they sell cheap vodka shots all night.
Mm-hmm. Maybe dancing.
You think my dancing causes my blackouts? No, I know it's the last thing I remember, but I don't think it's that. Sometimes I remember more, but I'm tired now. Is that it for today?
Maybe alcohol causes
I don't drink.
blackouts. You don't drink? What prognosis?
I want to stop having the blackouts. I want to stop waking up at the beach. I want to remember those entire evenings.
Nightclub.
Can you suggest anything that might help? I film myself doing lots of things. But it's not so easy to do when you're blacked out.
Okay.
Will you do it for me?
Can someone watch
Will you watch me to see what happens?
Yes, I'll watch you.
So, it's a date then. I'll let you know when.
No, whoa, 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 whoa. I did not say anything about a date.
Wow. Let's get straight to it then. I'm not sure I feel comfortable speaking with you about that at the moment.
Right.
I guess people see me and call the police. But someone will take offense eventually, and I'll be charged with indecent exposure.
I don't know, Tannis, like, that last part of your statement it's kind of been what I've done most of my life. Oh, the master.
I never find my clothes. I don't know why I'm naked.
You don't know why you're naked and you can't find your clothes. Right.
When I wake up, my hair is dry, but it's pretty hot at the moment. I get baked quickly by the sun. It's possible I've been in the sea during my blackout.
I know I did.
I hold my breath when I'm swimming underwater. Most people do. Sometimes, if I'm really excited, I'll hold my breath accidentally, just for a few seconds. I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Dekker was fine. He had good relationships with his patients, as far as I know. I'm not sure why anyone would want him dead.
She was in The Shape-Shifting Detective as the owner of the hotel house thingy that the fucking occult motherfuckers was staying at. How long have you been a patient?
Here for 3 months. Today is my patient birthday. Do I get a cake or something?
Does she get a cake? Yes, you can have a cake, or no, you don't get a cake. Is the cake a lie? Or is it not a lie? Will she get cake? Hey, the master. I don't know if you played the second one. In the second one, you learned that the cake is a lie was a lie because the cake is not a lie, and you even find the cake. So it is, in fact, not a lie. The lie was a lie. I know. So, does she get cake or does she not? I'll let y'all decide if she deserves cake or not. I'll let y'all decide if she deserves cake. Oh my god, I'm starting to get used to seeing through these. Okay, so that's a yes. She can have cake. Okay, I'll give her the cake.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Doctor.
Why do you keep going to the
I
beach?
love the beach. Until somebody tells me it's going to kill me, I'll keep going. Have you ever been addicted to something, Doctor?
Addicted? Have I ever been addicted to something? Yes.
I thought so when I first saw you. We should get on great.
Cigarettes.
Like you're not listening.
Congratulations, you just poisoned her. I bet she was all allergic to it. You know what? I'm fine with that. Then we have Ellen. We have Claire. And we don't have anything new for Bryce. So where do we go? Do we go with Ellen or Claire? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So that's a Claire.
My name is Claire Castleford, and as I'm paying a small fortune for these sessions, I'd expect you to be up to speed, Doctor. Being rich has its perks, but honestly, I would give it all up in a heartbeat if it could free me from this madness.
Okay. Why are you here?
Well, according to your predecessor, I'm a delusional psychotic with obsessive tendencies. Oh, and a history of violence. Sounds so cold when you put it like that, though, doesn't it?
Right. Right. Okay. Obsessive.
I'm obsessed with my
tendencies.
husband. It's absurd, really. Because he is here. And he shouldn't be. Lucky to be alive. He almost died. My husband is not a well man. We've been having problems for a while now.
Right.
His health, if you can call it that, has been deteriorating rapidly in the last few weeks. I can't cope with caring for him anymore. Since our altercation, he's become less and less active. His mind's become less and less active too. Such a delightful conversationalist at one time. Now more of an enigmatic husk.
Or what are we saying here? It's almost as bad as stepping on the world's smallest Lego, kind of bad. Tell me about
David has trouble looking after himself. Sometimes I'll leave the lake house and he's just sitting in the rocking chair on the porch. And when I return the next evening, he's still there, just staring into the stars. He needs help, I know, but I can't hire anybody to care for him. David's staying at the lake house. It belonged to my parents, but I don't use it much anymore. I have the main house to myself.
Alright, history
To
of
be
violence.
fair, there was only one violent outburst. That hardly qualifies as a history of violence. And he provoked me. I tried to hurt David once. That's why I'm here, isn't it? I'm not proud of my behaviour, but I was very angry. It was a private matter, though. The police should never have been involved.
Right.
I stabbed him with a steak knife.
Jesus!
Shocking, isn't it?
Nothing really? No, she fucking stabbed him with a steak knife. That's attempted murder. What the fuck? Bruh. You should try stepping on a Playmo tree.
There was a brief moment of temporary insanity. Or temporary clarity, I'm not really sure which. David had been having an affair with his assistant optician, Iris. How predictable.
Okay, she's obsessed with her husband.
Not just the affair, but an
Husband
optician
had
named
an affair,
Iris.
So she stabbed him. Okay.
Delusions. As in, seeing things that are not there. I'm not going to be any more specific. It's not true in any case. I'm not delusional. I never used to get angry. Ever. If you're angry, you're not in control. Isn't that right? And it would be very bad for me to lose control.
Okay.
Let's save that for another time, shall we? I'm rich, but I'm not made of money. And I'm fairly sure my time is up. The most shocking thing about Dr. Dekker's death is that he didn't bring it upon himself. But then I hadn't known him for a very long time. Perhaps I was wrong about him.
Okay.
Keep up, Doctor. David is my husband. The police seem to think I'm dangerous. I'm only sitting here talking to you because I have a lot of money. Otherwise, there's no doubt I'd be thrown into prison for a very long time. That's why I need your help, Doctor.
Okay.
I assume they think I'm dangerous because I stabbed my husband.
Right.
I suppose after what I did, there are people that might think I belonged in prison. What do you think, Doctor? Can I be saved with therapy, or should I be locked up like a dangerous criminal?
I personally believe most people can be saved with therapy, but they need to be in.
You have a lot of faith in your abilities. That's good. I look forward to being completely cured. Dr. Dekker just had that look about him. You know what they say about us crazies. Takes one to know one.
Alright. Is that everything? Okay, we're done with Claire. That only leaves Ellen. So, okay. We have I'm from Hell and every day is Groundhog Day. Mariana, who's extremely horny all the time and blackouts when she dances. And we have Claire, who is angry and stabbed her husband. We have Bryce, who thinks every day there's 1 hour where time freezes except for him.
I'm Elin. I'm 25 and I'm a nurse. God, I sound like I'm on one of those dating shows.
Okay. Dating?
I'm not really looking for love at the moment. I'm sort of married to my work, but in a good way. I work in a nursing home for the elderly. I basically do end-of-life care.
Alright, end-of-life care, so people who are about to die. I didn't mean to use a hint.
The usual things. Making sure the patients are comfortable, making sure they're not in any pain, and I talk to them. I keep them company.
Alright.
Some of them get pretty frightened about what's coming. Well, those of them that aren't out of it on meds. I comfort them.
Okay, okay. So far so good. We might have a normal one.
Death is frightening, isn't it? Isn't it what everyone's afraid of? The great unknown. No one should have to face that alone.
Some patients are fit on meds.
I don't like it when patients are heavily sedated, especially when there are alternatives, like herbal remedies.
Oh God!
I mean, imagine if you only had a few days or weeks left to live. Would you want to spend it asleep?
No, I wouldn't like to sleep.
Exactly. I feel like it's almost criminal. Like you're robbing people of their last moments on Earth. You should be able to savour the experience, not sleep your way to death.
Or should people savor
I'm
death?
not saying anyone should be happy about dying. I've seen lots of people die, and it's a special moment. There's literally nothing else like it.
Tell me about
I've known
that.
a lot of doctors over the years. Most of them arrogant idiots who think nurses are just there to do their bidding, or worse. Dr. Dekker was different. He had a lot of time for me. He was interested in my problems.
Right. Do you like Dekker?
He was a bit offbeat, but yeah, I liked him. But then I like most people.
Yo, Mala! How you doing, Mala? How you doing? She's a nurse.
I'm a qualified herbalist. It's okay, you can laugh. Most people think herbalism is a joke. But I'd much rather help my patients sleep at night with valerian or passion flower than lorazepam, temazepam or zolpidem.
Okay, she's one of those.
Terry's one of the other nurses at the home. I don't think she likes me very much. I started seeing Dr. Dekker a few months ago.
A few months ago, okay.
I thought it would be nice to have someone I could talk to about work. It can get a bit stressful sometimes.
Yes, but this is the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker, not contradiction. Which is a different FMV games that I want to stream sometime, which also has actors from the Shape-Shifting Detective.
It can be sad sometimes. I don't like losing a patient, but that's the job. I don't get stressed about it or anything. It's not the job that stresses me. It's the people I work with, the other nurses. They're mean to me.
Okay. Bullying at work?
They call me the angel of death because so many patients have died on my shift.
Oh!
I don't think they mean it. Obviously, it's not my fault. It just seems to happen that way.
Do you think she's killing her patients?
3 last month. 3 the month before that, I think. But only 1 so far this month, so that's good. Although one of my patients, Hilda, I don't think she's got long.
Right.
She's one of the crotchety ones. Always swearing and spitting at me. Never got anything nice to say. Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep or something. She doesn't bother me though. I'd been seeing him for about 9 months, I think. I think it's terrible what happened to him. So awful. No one deserves to die like that.
She might not be killing them, but it's definitely possible. Alright, so I think that's okay. Okay. Marion's been through a lot. That's why I should stop going to the beach. Okay. Oh yeah, next day. Yes.
Oh, Doctor, glad I caught
my
you.
secretary.
I thought you
We're
might
not
want to
thinking
hear
about
what
it.
Ben had to say. Quick catch up?
Oh, okay. Alright, there she is. The secretary.
I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about finding the body. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in the line of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't very talkative either. Yes, Ben found Dr. Dekker's body on Valentine's night in his office. In your office.
On Valentine's night?
Yes, you know, the 14th of February, the
Maybe
day
you
of
should play
love.
this on Valentine's
Or
Day
remembering a
instead.
massacre. Whichever's more you.
Who is Ben?
Sorry, didn't you know? Ben's one of the night shift cleaners. I'm sure he's got some tales he could tell.
I mentioned the police.
The police wanted to know what I was doing Valentine's night, you know, when the body was found. I was at home, all on my lonesome. So I guess that makes me a suspect.
Who else is a
I think
suspect?
the police want you to make a short list of suspects, or maybe even find the killer. You're seeing all the patients that were on the books when he was killed. There was no forced entry, so they think it might be someone he knew, or someone who had access to the office. Yeah, like little old me. Do you think I'm a suspect, Doctor?
Yes. Do we say that you're not the suspect, or do we tell her that she is a suspect of killing Dr. Dekker? The psychiatrist before I started. I'm filling in for him. Y'all let me know.
I wouldn't say we were best friends, but we did spend a lot of time together. You know, there's only two of us that work here. I'm sure we'll become friends too, Doctor. Just try not to get murdered.
Oh. The master is saying yes, and Malab is saying no. Oh. Do we have a tiebreaker here? Sorry, Malab, I'm overriding you.
Oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. I suppose everyone's a suspect at the moment, even you. They did mention I needed grief counselling, though, and I said you'd sort me out. I know you didn't agree, but I thought I'd let you know.
Thanks.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know exactly, but a stabbing of some kind. We'll be getting the autopsy through at some point. I'll let you know when.
Right,
I didn't see it myself, so I don't know. But I heard it was a bit of a mess with all the blood and everything. You know, they have people who clean up after such things, though, so you really can't tell, can you? But don't worry. That's a new chair. All I know is the police took his chair. Forensics, I suppose.
Why would anyone want
He
to
was
kill Dekker?
stabbed, so that's quite a personal thing to do. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the patients who had a problem with the treatment they were getting.
You think a patient killed Dr. Dekker because of the treatment?
I'm just surmising. If you're unhappy enough to kill your therapist, they're probably not doing a very good job.
An apt point, I must admit.
I wasn't really in his social circle, so I don't know if he had
Yeah,
any
no
friends.
way she's the suspect.
In terms of enemies, I heard things get heated in his office sometimes, but I won't name any names. Susan,
Maybe you should name names.
Annabelle, Melissa, there are some names, but they're not names of anyone I know.
Okay. Next day, huh? Alright.
I'm having a loop day.
Oh, great. Okay, we have Nathan coming back. Yo, Speed, how you doing? We got some nice horror up in here. It's so scary, man. It's so scary. This is the Infectious madness of Dr. Dekker. And in case you're wondering who I am, this is the laziest I could come up with for... Hello, I'm Nostalgia Critic. I remember it, and so you don't have to. Or something like that.
It's a do-over day. You won't remember. What's the name of your
So
assistant
this
again?
motherfucker thinks he's from hell, and he relives every day like it's fucking Groundhog Day. Oh, I feel you.
You didn't know that
I'll watch
yesterday.
it later. I can't.
Can you
make
remember
the
where I met
premiere
Hannah?
because obviously I'm. It's the Athena thing, right?
No. No, we played that game together, but we didn't meet in it. Well done, Doctor. Yeah, we met at secondary. Wouldn't it be funny if my day loops if you fail to get a
Yeah, I'm
question
actually
right?
looking forward to that.
I suppose it's funny for you. You won't remember. Anyway, I think I'll probably head home. This isn't helping.
Right. Alright, next day.
I'm having a loop day.
Again?
It's
What do you
a
mean by
do-over
loop?
day. You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again?
Jaya.
I suppose you did remember that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
School?
Yeah, at secondary school. It's been fun, but I've got a pill.
Oh no.
Dr. Dekker gave me this pill. He told me if I took it, I'd never have another loop day.
Oh god, it's like cyanide or some shit, isn't it?
It's got a small skull and crossbones on it. Should I take the tablet, Doctor?
Do we tell him to take the pill with a skull and crossbones on it? There would be one less suspect if he did it. No? Why not? Alright.
You're cool. I don't think this is getting us anywhere, though. I'll see you tomorrow. Again.
Right, okay.
I'm
Next
having a
day.
loop day.
Okay.
It's a do-over day. You won't remember it. What's the name of your assistant again?
It's looping. Alright.
Well done. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Yeah,
School.
great. Is there anything you can say that's going to break this loop for me?
Tell me about the
I
pill.
never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days?
Why do you think so?
somewhere has changed since you arrived. Like some kind of sim theory.
What's a sim
It's a
theory?
thing. Some professor
Does it relate
believes we
to
could be
Dawson?
living inside a computer simulation and someone is controlling us. And there are millions of these sims. And someone somewhere behind a keyboard is just causing havoc.
Okay, yeah, he just went crazy.
I'm starting to think you have that keyboard, Doctor. Wait,
He told
don't
me
answer that.
earlier.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, meta joke!
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to
Having
smother
a
her in her
nightmare.
sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day
Isn't it
over
scary?
and over.
Hilda.
I black out,
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just,
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Woo! Yeah, I slept at the office, I guess. Act 2!
Ooh. Deja vu. Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you, too. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away. Well, come find me if you need anything.
Right, sure. Alright, so we got Nathan, Mariana, Ellen, Claire, Bryce, Jasmine. She's new. We got Lacey. Where do I begin? Let's try the fresh blood first.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then? Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her.
Right.
But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch.
Okay.
It was me
I'll
and
do Jasmine
Agnes.
next.
Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes... Poor Agnes.
Okay.
She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth. It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours
Okay.
shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call
A
it
Medusa.
a Medusa. Snakes for her face.
There are door-to-door sales Medusas?
And Agnes just fell to the floor.
Okay.
A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes. I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they?
You think it's Nathan or Bryce?
They haven't found her because that thing ate her.
What?
Or made her disappear or something. Her useless husband managed to survive unscathed, though. Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd...
Right.
No. He's a weaselly little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging.
No,
and
that's
building,
Bryce.
pruning and sawing.
Nathan is the guy who thinks he's from hell.
What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless
what?
Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think... I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor?
Yes, I'll call
Thank
the
you,
police.
Doctor. Now give me a pen and I'll write down the details for you. Don't you want to know why Dr. Dekker called me the leech lady?
The leech lady? What
I
were
was
you
at
doing on
Henley
Halloween
Church. They had a service that ran right up till
night?
midnight.
Valentine's night.
For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life?
Welcome back.
Keep 'em safe. You never know who's going to come knocking on your door.
Because you're leeching my attention span.
He said that I leech thoughts from people. Suck 'em right out of
Oh
their
my god,
heads.
you joke, but that's kind of what
And
she
I can put
does.
thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway? Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
Okay. Green. Jasmine. Who are
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker?
Murdered.
Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
Dekker was stabbed.
I didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now. I had to work all day at Providence.
Okay.
When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving.
Alright, so
Like
painting
a
looks
mini
like
film.
a film
Like
for her.
little vines. But when there's a person in the painting, when I want them to normally, when I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop. I've been working on portraits, at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard.
Okay.
I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray.
Yeah, I know about Dorian Gray.
They watch me. Normally disapprovingly.
Milan out here simping.
Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art.
Oh
Because I'm
man,
too
if
young.
you think so, Mala, your balls are gonna explode when I start talking to Marianne. Let's see.
Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me.
Alright. I get it.
I wanted to try and capture someone
Dorian.
aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me.
Right.
That
What did
I'm
Dorian say?
ugly. That I have no talent. Nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor?
Yes? Do we tell her yes or no? I'm gonna let y'all decide when I get some. While I get some refill on liquid. Ah! Okay, there we go. No, it's not true.
I hear it so many times in that
I
wretched
just saw
painting.
yes there.
It's in my
Mom.
head. But thank you.
Tell me
You
about
were shy.
Dekker.
and then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it.
Right.
Yeah, he
Set fire
could
to
have been more
what?
specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it. Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though.
Right, so...
My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that.
Are you a
Providence has gone through
pyromaniac or some
some
shit?
tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her. Dr. Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra.
Right.
No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance.
You don't even know if she hasn't. Wait, your psychologist told you to burn the place down.
I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And now whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them.
Right.
The temazepam, the sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time. Dr. Dekker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this?
A little bit of
Thank you, Doctor.
self-confidence? Alright.
I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
Alright. Milan, get ready for this. Mariana, get ready for this.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts, new doctor, and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker. I didn't do anything on Valentine's Day. I washed my hair, and then I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I saw one of your patients, actually. The nurse. She was on the pier with someone.
Oh, really?
Pretty much all of the night, too, so I can vouch for her, even though she probably didn't see me.
Really now? Why am I
Dr.
better here?
Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it?
Okay.
I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them.
What can you tell me?
We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be. Shh.
Yeah, exactly, Tannis. And then I asked, how so? And she said, the doctor dated his patients. Did you just go out for drinks?
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Dekker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink.
Right. How are you
I
persuasive?
know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile. I guess it was a couple of days before Valentine's Day. It wasn't a date or anything. I noticed in our sessions that he'd been acting a little strange. He just didn't seem right. I wanted to find out what was wrong. Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful.
Okay.
Makes me feel dull by comparison. I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy. I think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know.
Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now? I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. Kind of missed it.
Okay. Why have you missed the beach?
You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts.
Okay. Were you seeing Dekker?
People are quick to put labels on everything. I suppose Dr. Dekker was more than just a therapist to me. We had a lot of things in common, but we weren't seeing each other.
Yo, what up, Dakota? How you doing?
I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. Are you offering, Doctor?
Am I offering? No.
It sounded like an offer to me, Doctor. Some girls say that they're washing their hair when they don't want to go out, but I was genuinely washing my hair. Do you think my hair is pretty, Doctor?
Yeah, why do you feel the need to
I'm
ask?
insecure, Doctor. Isn't it obvious? It's such a mess. But thank you.
Something's not adding up?
I've danced around in my living room, but no clubs since last time.
No clubs, okay.
I like dancing around in my underwear. Sometimes less.
So, Milan, this woman, she dances. No, she goes to clubs. She blacks out and wakes up at the beach naked, not being able to find her clothes every night. Oh, Jaya is here, huh? There's Bryce. Let's talk to Bryce.
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me.
Okay.
I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour.
What do you mean you've been getting a little bit out of control during your hour?
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground?
What would I do if I had an hour? Go to the fairground, help people, steal things, spy on people? Valentine's Day, tell about Dr. Dekker. Can you see something behind me? You seem preoccupied. Yeah, you're right,
Yes,
Tannis.
I
You're
would steal
absolutely
too.
right.
And I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things.
Okay. Oh, I get to say all of them?
Well,
Okay, what if I
that
said
makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me.
Okay.
Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles.
Uh-huh.
I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor?
Completely normal, set him out. He's ready to face the public. Oh, by the way, his job, he's a grave digger.
Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything. It's obviously not real. Probably a side effect of the sleeping pills I'm on.
Right.
Yes, that does sound weird, doesn't it? I take the temazepam as an antidepressant when I feel I need a little chemical help. I don't want to sleep through my extra hour, so obviously I don't take it at night.
Tell me
I
more
dug
about
the
Dekker.
grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is?
You don't think he's the killer, Mala? Who do you think it is so far?
No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else. Or cremated. Somebody, somewhere, didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
I prefer buried.
If you're buried, people can bring you back. You don't want to see people when they've come back.
When they've come back? This motherfucker talking about zombies and shit.
I did think, what good could I do other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back. And the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture.
You took another Bruh.
I was home alone. I only live 5-minute cycle ride from here, so I could have been and gone several times. But I didn't. I've never been to this office outside my scheduled appointment time.
Okay.
Ha! That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that.
Yes.
I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault.
Love me like I take it back.
Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed.
What happened? What happened?
He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the
So
time.
he got bored of you, I guess.
I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it.
Made you think what?
Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour.
Okay.
You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows
Yeah,
it was
nobody
you.
knows it was you. I know.
That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me. Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus.
Interesting.
We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there. Because you have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was.
All right.
And after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway.
Well, you can go home, sir. Bryce, you are a completely normal individual, no psychological issues in any way whatsoever. Go on about your day and do what you're already doing.
I visited Dr. Dekker once a week on Tuesdays. It's my day off because I have to work half days at the weekend.
Let's talk to the nurse, I guess.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do.
Oh!
Plus, Hilda's getting worse.
Okay. So now people are accusing her of stealing from her patients.
This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died.
Uh-huh.
I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird.
Uh-huh.
They're not valuable, just trinkets, really.
Right, so you're collecting trophies. I don't know. You got 2 suspects?
Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket?
Yes, it's literally in your guidelines.
I don't see the harm. Alice wanted me to have it. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand. Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to. It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know? Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier. Held hands.
Ah, that's when she
had
got
a bit
seen.
of a kiss. Then he called a cab, and I went home, alone. I think it was about 11 when I left Max. I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to, if you think I need an alibi.
Alright.
Yes,
Dr. Dekker.
I had a session with Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it.
Okay.
Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell.
Alright,
I need to
she's
see
dying.
her before it's too late. Help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way.
Okay. What's her
Hilda wants to
unfinished
see her
business?
daughter. She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent.
Your talent?
I can change my skin.
Alright, here we go. She can
What I
change
look
her
like.
skin?
I can turn into a patient's loved one. I just
This bitch can shapeshift.
hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see
Or
is sitting
believes
right here
so.
next to them, and I become them.
We got a shapeshifter.
It's how I help them move on.
Code 1.
That's how I comfort them. I only shift at work to help my patients. I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone. Of course, it was Terry that accused me of stealing. One of the other nurses. She's actually trying to make out that I'm some kind of HSK.
Okay.
Healthcare serial killer.
Healthcare.
You know, like those
serial
nurses that kill loads of their patients. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Anyway, because a few of my patients have died on me, and some of those patients have given me gifts, Terry thinks it means that I've been killing them off. His name is Max. He's really sweet, but I don't see a future between us. He's not really my type.
Now what's the point of the date?
I've known Max a couple of years, but this is the first time we've been on a date. I don't think he's boyfriend material. Dr. Dekker seemed fine on Valentine's Day. He seemed to be in a good mood. It didn't seem like anything was bothering him.
Okay.
I
How
can
do you know
sense it.
people are dying?
You know?
She can sense it?
It's like when
Okay.
you're outside and there's a sudden change in the light or the air feels different and you know it's going to rain. It's like that. I always know when one of my patients is fading, even before the doctors know. Their energy changes. It sounds silly when I put it into words. I sound like my mum.
Okay. Alright, so we can do...
Hey, you. Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it, though. So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him? Good choice. I'll go and see Ben to see if I can get him to call off the dogs. I have no idea what's gotten into him. Perhaps it's his mum.
Let's see,
On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange. Oh, I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man.
Solitary man?
A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in.
I'll see you
I
later,
mainly miss
Blah.
our chats. He used to work late with me
You have
and tell
sexy as
me
night.
things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think. We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order.
Uh-huh.
Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters.
Right, personal
Yes, letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters... He was sure there was a pattern in them.
Put me on Mariana.
Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like.
Tell me about...
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
Alright, tell me about Claire.
Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it? Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
Alright, Nathan?
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom.
Who the fuck is
Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s.
Uh-huh.
He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby.
Uh-huh.
Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened?
Splat.
He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
Okay.
I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. You know, here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it?
Bruh.
Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. You know, it's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. You know, I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that?
No, you did not.
She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25.
Right.
Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them. It smashed.
Right.
So you watched the tapes, huh? Gold star for you.
Oh, right. So we have two things. Dekker's resignation letter. To whom it may concern, please accept this letter as a notice of my intention to resign from this position. Dr. Dekker. Alright. And then there's Alderby footage.
Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. That's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Dekker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time. As, by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next. Which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2, 1. You think nothing happened. Where's your glass, Doctor?
All right. All right, Nathan.
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes. I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I've decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor?
I like autumn.
I thought you'd be an autumn person. That means you're supposed to be grounded and productive. And you like your space. Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me, if that's even a thing. I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day,
Henley Church.
visiting Hannah's grave. It was the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. It does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph.
Right.
We walk alone without our angel.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Dekker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am. Can you give me some advice, Doctor?
Okay. So, this brings up the potential that whatever's wrong with all these people, that Dr. Dekker is the one who made them that way.
I've been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else?
Look when
Thanks,
you're
Doctor.
ready.
I appreciate that. I still don't think I'm ready to move forward in that respect. I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone.
Right. What
I've been
advice
trying
would
to
you-
think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best? Photographs it is then. I'll let you know how it goes. I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said it uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Dekker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Dekker saw that day. It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation.
Alright. What the fuck is a cephalopod?
It's a sea creature, like an octopus. I suppose they find dinosaur bones everywhere. Just because we're on land now doesn't mean millions of years ago this place wasn't at the bottom of an ocean.
Alright. Happened with the
She was interested.
archaeologist?
Maybe I misread. Maybe she was just being kind. I suppose most women wouldn't enjoy me talking about my dead ex for hours.
So
I like winter. Being snowed in with Hannah. Just the two of us. It's paradise.
Alright.
She's dead.
Tell me about your
Thanks for bringing that
mother.
up.
Oh. I'm sorry, dude. So all we have left is Claire.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died.
They? Your parents?
The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him.
Alright.
Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he.
Alright. How did your
They
parents
died
die?
of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Carbon monoxide poisoning?
I was staying at a friend's house.
Whoa,
Otherwise, I would have died too. I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick. I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor? David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice. David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing. I know. I shouldn't have talked to her. It was dangerous. Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do.
Okay, watching David. Why were you watching
He has
him?
trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes. I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens.
Okay.
Love? Yes. I suppose I always will.
How'd you meet
Met
David?
isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces.
Alright.
I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine. It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan anyway. I had to toughen up quickly.
Okay. How did
I don't
you
know.
seem special?
I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water.
Right. Oh shit, did I skip that by accident?
I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child.
Alright. Alright, cool. Then we get to next day. Yes.
David hunts,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs,
patterns.
rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire.
Alright.
I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
Right. Act 3. Spiked? You spiked me? She roofied me? Oh, that kind of spike. Title Doctor, first name nothing, last name Dekker. This motherfucker don't even have a last. This motherfucker doesn't even have a first name. The victim was located in his office, seated on a chair behind a desk, soaked in blood with an obvious chest wound. Paper spike, desk accessory, 150 millimeters long, protruding from the approximate region of the victim's heart. Estimated from liver temperature measurements to be between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. on the 14th of February 2017. Note that victim's body was reportedly discovered at 10:20 p.m. Yeah, okay. Cause of death, exsanguination due to punctuation of the left anterior descending coronary artery. Death would have occurred within minutes. Okay. And then there's arrest report. Christian Weber. Okay. 40 hours on Tuesday, November 8th. Myself and PC Holt responded to a call received from a neighbor of the Bauer House, Weston Park Avenue, concerning a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address and knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. We then examined the rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors. We entered the property through this door and I announced myself by shouting police, but did not hear any response. We searched the premises. Upon entering the dinner room, I saw a female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground. The man did not appear to be conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood, and there was substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls, and furniture. I noticed what appeared to be a steak knife on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female while I checked the man for signs of life, but found none. Asked the woman her name, and she identified herself to me as Claire Castleford. I asked if she knew the dead man. She said that was her husband, David Castleford. I asked what had happened, since she said that she had killed him. Following the search by PC Holt, which revealed no other persons present at the house, I said to Castleford at 20:52 hours, you are under arrest on suspicion of murder. I then cautioned her and placed her in the back of the police car for transportation to Weston Park Police Station, where okay. So her husband is dead.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again,
Yes.
the one I told you about. She was playing outside.
I'll probably get some nicotine in me, and we'll be right back to what we're doing. I'm back. Sorry about that. Also, I had to take a shit. Whoop! Lah! Got something to drink or whatever. Shit. Do I have... Oh, okay. I do have a little more to hold me over for later. I don't want to make it longer wait than... Yeah.
A paper spike is an odd thing to use as a weapon. I suppose if it went directly into the heart, it might work. Or through his eye, or perhaps through the ear and into his brain. Or was it just a frenzied, bloody mess of a murder? Do you know, Doctor?
No, I don't. I no.
It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away. That's what it says. I can see you're confused. The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Right. So that's where she's completely fucking delusional.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
All right, we got more to ask Bryce.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David. He's also a grave digger, I believe.
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly.
Really now?
Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people.
They smuggled the... Okay.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me anymore. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So I fixed him. It was about a week later. I brought David back to life.
You brought him back
Not with
to
voodoo,
life.
not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible.
So she's
but only if you're not
much...
buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then,
This is psycho.
you have a chance at resurrection.
Right? Instead of the dead mom, she's got like the corpse of her dead husband who she thinks is alive.
Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term. Like, I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead.
Okay, so you're a necromancer. Gotcha.
I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem. I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me. Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor? At worst, it's manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him, I just stabbed him a bit. And although he was dead for a week, I brought him back to life. Does this mean you won't help me? Was I temporarily insane? Thank you, Doctor. That's all I needed to hear. From you or Dr. Dekker. But Dr. Dekker wouldn't do that for me. He wanted something else. Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my alleged ability. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl. Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
All right. Yes, I'd like to.
Very
see
well. In our next session.
that. Oh boy.
He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house, just for me, and he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted, a temporary insanity diagnosis. It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped, and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her. I knew it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way. How astute, Doctor. Yes, I did say I hadn't seen Dr. Dekker outside of our sessions. That wasn't a lie. Our trip to the lake house was made during a session. You tell me. What could possibly explain that? If David doesn't exist, then that means that I really did kill him. He really is buried, and I really should be going to prison for a very long time. That just doesn't seem right to me. It's more probable that I reanimated him under Dr. Dekker's guidance. I assure you, David is not a ghost. I've touched him. Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him, something not quite right. I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet cemetery. Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting. No, I didn't speak to her. You told me not to. I can be good when I want to be. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught one of the fish. She was holding it in her hands. I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
Right. Let me see. Alright. Does that leaves you guys. Okay. Professor Warwick.
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
This guy is in contradiction.
Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then. Dr. Dekker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories.
Quantum theories?
Do you really want to know? Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment.
Alright. Yo, Chris. Welcome back.
Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
What the fuck is quantum suicide? No.
Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't understand. I knew you wouldn't. Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive. Now imagine if I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different.
Dope.
Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at the roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability, but then I changed a parameter.
Oh, really?
Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Now, every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while.
Okay.
Dr. Dekker killed it, and I can't get it back.
Really now?
Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Dekker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox.
Really?
Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week. But it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed? Honestly? Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science. Almost as if he'd have preferred chaos. Well, Monday does seem likely, yes. Because If you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then Tuesday won't be a surprise. But if you're sure that it's Monday, then that won't be a surprise either, will it? Dekker tricked me. He told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me. Why not gambling? My wife Vanessa left me for a neurosurgeon. She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution.
Okay.
We were married for 14 years, 7 months and 3 days. Vanessa couldn't have children, at least that's what she told me.
Oh.
She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science and we'd be... It wasn't to be, though. Well, yes, it bothered me, especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem.
Right.
I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mind Stretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that, I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go.
Interesting. Really now?
Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. That smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
Sure.
It's full of poor kids with very capable minds. I did give them a talk on quantum tunneling once, and they loved it. Not sure it'll put dinner on the table for any of them, though. Oh, you're going to have to Google that, Doctor, I'm afraid. I'm not a walking Wikipedia. I'd love to tell you, but I am paying you by the hour. Maybe look up Schrodinger's cat whilst you're there. I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money.
Yeah.
It's true, I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen.
All right.
A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want to talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration. Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work.
Right. Quantum gambling. Win every time if you bet a lot of money. And focus on the winning outcome.
They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose. What do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
Nah, man.
No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes, and I'm dead now. I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it? Well, the Ministry of Defense, of course. Guns aren't going to win the next war. Quantum physics is.
Bruh, stop gambling.
I take your point. But I suppose to decide whether to continue gambling or to stop gambling is a gamble within itself, isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious. Isn't it?
So we have Nathan, Mariana, Ellen, Claire, Rice, Jaya. You can ask Jaya about what the fuck he was talking about.
Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway. I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker? Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them. Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you. Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering.
Right.
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
Her acting is right out of porn, honestly.
I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point. Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better.
Shall we talk about grief today?
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today? I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
Right.
He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth. Well, At least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people.
What?
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it. Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Mariana around.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that. Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor? In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples.
Yo, wait.
It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
Are you saying I can be a bison? Are you saying I can do the Psycho Crusher?
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan. Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do. How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away?
Okay. Is it common?
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
Yeah, he's been looking for him. We know that.
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder. I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before.
So, what would we do in this situation? Psycho power. Are we passive? Do we encourage their powers or remove their powers? With patients with psychokinesis. Psycho power. Do we want Bryce out there like doing whatever the fuck he wants for an hour every day? Loose on the world? Taking pictures of people and shit?
Things could escalate. Building trust is one thing, but at what cost? Honestly, I think Dr. Dekker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa.
Oh, really?
I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them.
Sure.
That was a joke, Doctor. I guess we found our level. Oops, that was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already. Dr. Dekker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying in a nursing home and he didn't want to see her. I remember him calling her a manipulative, evil old hag. You tend not to ask any more questions after that. I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Alright. We've drained her out. Alright, let's go with Bryce.
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong, but you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor?
I think I would have, like, better things to do than taking naked photographs as time froze. Like, I would not use it like that.
Thank God for that. There's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure, watching me and following me. I followed it too. Dr. Dekker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example. I'm sure he did it with the other patients too. He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand.
Okay.
I don't know who it is.
Alright.
My initial thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Dekker risen from the dead. I need to talk to you about him.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Doctor. I saw Claire Castleford's husband in the coffin myself before carrying him to the grave. He is in the ground. I'm sure it wouldn't take much for the police to get an order to have him exhumed. Just make sure it's done on Tuesday morning when I'm off. Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like it's testing me.
Right.
I spied on Dr. Dekker, not long before he was murdered.
Really?
I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in his basement.
Really now? Okay. His basement?
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Dekker for some time. I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Dekker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl. It was difficult to tell. It was dark, and she was chained.
Okay.
I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil. I destroyed evil.
Okay.
I split the brawl up.
I didn't mean for that. Stop it.
I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in bed. I went inside. Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette. I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures.
Right, good. Making improvements. Baby steps.
I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills in the military. Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want, and return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me?
Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have to. Oh, actually, I'm a psychiatrist, and I took over another psychiatrist's who was murdered. I'm filling in for him, but I'm also trying to find out what happened to the psychiatrist, and things are getting kind of crazy. So we got all these people who think they have psychokinetic powers, or maybe they do. This motherfucker, every day, he lives 25 hours. That extra hour is frozen, so he can do whatever he wants for an hour, and he's the only one who moves around and shit. Now we have Claire, who stabbed her husband to death because he was cheating, but she says he's alive. Then we have this nurse who claims she shapeshifts to make it easier for her patients who are dying, and like shapeshift into a loved one and whatever. And then she'll just like take shit that she's giving to them while she's shapeshifted. Then we got this chick who's just like goes to the dance club, dances, blacks out, wakes up naked on a beach without finding her clothes. And we got this dude who thinks he's from hell. And he's living every day over and over again, like Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. This is quite a bit of something.
Would you tell Jessica I love her? She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her.
Right.
And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks
Wait,
cabinet.
what?
Please destroy it.
What?
Please, don't look at it.
What do you have on that hard drive, bro?
I did nothing. I'm not stealing any more.
Dude, what's on that hard drive?
Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about.
Uh-huh.
I have real feelings for her, Doctor. We've never connected.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females.
Let's just hope
But I'm still
not
in awe of her,
encouraging him
really.
to do something very
I will think about it, though.
bad.
I put my hand through a rusty nail at work today. It hurt like hell and bled like I'd been shot. I closed my eyes and thought, this isn't happening. The nail is just a worm, and it will wriggle through me. When I looked back, can you guess what I saw? When I looked back at my hand, it was healed. Look, see? My hand had healed. The nail had become a worm and was wriggling in my palm. It was like a little miracle, like magic.
Or it's psycho power.
I shouldn't really say miracle or magic. They're words that Dr. Dekker used when he tried to get you to think things and make them real. But do you think it's real, Doctor? That magic is real?
The magic is real? Yes, magic is real. It's a very
Then so it
fun
is.
board game.
Close your eyes.
I do zombie deck.
Imagine you're in a graveyard,
Man,
looking at the gravestones. One catches your eye, so you take a picture of it, a picture that you now have.
Gravestone, Dr. Dekker. 1875? Bro, I think that's just a typo.
I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind. You know, drunk.
Alright. Let's talk to Ellen.
I'm fine. Work's fine. Hilda's fading fast. Terry.
The shapeshifter!
Oh, you'd be pleased to know I don't have the locket anymore. I gave it back. All of it. Every single keepsake. It's true then. I'd heard Dr. Dekker was stabbed, but I didn't know for sure. It's weird that whoever did it would choose the paper spike. Dr. Dekker used to play with it in our sessions sometimes. You know, pick it up, handle it while we talked. I remember once, he pushed the spike through his skin. At this bit, here, between his thumb and his finger. He said he didn't think I'd mind the sight of blood, being a nurse and all that, but actually, there wasn't any. I was a bit freaked out. At first, I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know? Like some kind of therapeutic test. Show the patient this retractable spike and see how they react. But it wasn't. The spike was real.
Let me look. Oh, what the fuck is up with that? Let me try to fix that. How long has it been like this? Jesus! Oh, that's wild, Koi. Um... Trying to find out what the fuck it could be. What the fuck? Why you do this, man? Alright, I'm gonna try to restart the stream. What the fuck?